the Identity Challenge is a sermon series. It's a subject matter for the month, and it is what we were looking at with another level, with the subject, the four faces of God. The four faces of God. And you might ask, are you sure what you are just talking about now is in the Bible? God has four faces. And we're going to read some scriptures tonight. Ezekiel Chapter 1, verse 1 to 12. And we will also read Revelation Chapter 4, verse 1 to 11. Ezekiel Chapter 1. I'm going to start reading from verse 1 to verse 12. In my 13th year, in the 4th month, on the 5th day, while I was among the exiles by the Heber River, the heavens were opened and I saw visions of God. On the 5th of the month, it was the 5th year of the exile of King Jehoiakim. The word of the Lord came to Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, by the Heber River, in the land of Babylonians. There the hand of the Lord was on him. I looked and I saw a windstorm coming out of the north, an immense cloud with flashing lightning, and surrounded by brilliant light. The center of the fire looks like glowing metal, and in the fire was what looks like 4 living creatures. In appearance, their form was human, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight, their feet were like those of a calf, and gleamed like burnished bronze. Under their wings, on their 4 sides, they had human hands. All 4 of them had faces and wings, and the wings of one touched the wings of another. Each one went straight ahead. They did not turn as they moved. Their faces looked like this. Each one of the 4 had the face of a human being. On the right side, each had the face of a lion, and on the left, the face of an ox. Each also had the face of an eagle. Such were their faces. They each had 2 wings spreading out upward, each wing touching that of a creature on either side, and each had 2 other wings covering his body. Each one went straight ahead. I repeated it again. Each one went what? Straight ahead. Wherever the Spirit would go, they would go, without turning as they went. Revelation chapter 4, verse 1. Whether in the Old Testament or in the New Testament, there is no contradiction at all. What Ezekiel saw over 3,000 years before John saw the revelation on the island was the same. In the case of Ezekiel, these beings were entangled together. The 4 of them were entangled together and came down. They came down and stood on a wheel. And the wheels were covered with ice. And wherever the 4 creatures entangled together moved to, the wheel moved. And they moved straight ahead. Anywhere they faced, according to the leading of the Spirit, and this Spirit is the Spirit of God, they moved. So in actual fact, this set of beings, this quartet of beings, were actually carrying the glory of God. Because from the presence of their appearance, a voice came forth and spoke to Ezekiel. That was God speaking to Ezekiel. In the New Testament, we find that these same beings surrounded the throne of God. That means wherever you saw them, God was present. The appearance of the glory of God captured in this image that we saw in Ezekiel's testimony and in John's revelation speaks of three things. The versatility of God. God is versatile. It speaks about the universality of God. God is universal. And it speaks also about his diversity. Because the faces captured the representation of God in different formats. An ox, the face of a human, an eagle, and a lion. God is so big that he cannot be confined to one small, narrow understanding. So you see the appearance of Jesus in human form, and you say that is all there is to God because there is a human form. But have you not heard that Jesus is a Lamb of God? And he is also the Lion of the tribe of Judah. We are therefore to know as his children that since we are made in God's image, we should as well be versatile. We should be universal. And we should have diversity in our nature, in our orientation and approach to life. Your life should not just be one-sided. God is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. And you were created in his image. So you cannot come to this world and say you just know one thing. Or you are good only in one thing. If you only know the capacity that you carry as a human being and the abilities that God put in you to be able to do a lot of things, you'll be shocked. Somebody was shown the vision of heaven. And when the Lord showed him the resources available to him that he was not using, he simply said, let me go back. And God had mercy upon him and he came back. When he came back, he was walking like a madman because he knew his time was limited, yet there was so much to be unburdened to the earth. You came to this world full of donation for humanity. It is not just the work that you are doing that you think that is all of you. It is not what you learned in school that is all of you. It is not that area of ministry that is all about you. There is still more to be unfolded if you dig deeper, if you have better understanding. It is not everything that you like that is about all that God has equipped you. There are some things that you don't like that God is going to call you into because he equipped you for it. He said we should break our fallow ground. There are a lot of fallow grounds in your life. And those who are closest to God, closest to his presence, they are given features that represent who God is. And so if these creatures have 4 faces, 1 head, 4 faces, it means that God is more than one facet. God has created you to bless the world in diverse ways. He has created you to have universality inside you. You were created to be dynamic, not static. Even at creation in the Garden of Eden, when he wanted to supply water to the garden, God brought water to the garden through 4 rivers, not one. And these 4 rivers, each one of them carried resources that the garden needed. Go and check it. There were 4 rivers that were supplying resources to the garden. And today you are a person of this generation. And you are saying that only one stream of income is good for you. You are joking, no? I was talking to a brother this morning. I asked him a very direct question. I say, when are you starting your business? You can't just be earning salary, and this salary cannot take you home.